السلام عليكم. صباح الخير. مرحبا بكم في هذه الجلسة الخاصة لاستعراض النتائج المالية لشركة تأجير للتمويل للعام 2022 والمنتهي 31 ديسمبر. Good morning and welcome to everyone to this special sessions for the discussions of the تأجير Finance performance for the year 2022. I will take you through the presentation now. And in this special sessions, my colleagues, Mr. Kashif Yaqub, the DCO, is with me, and Musa Al-Lawatia, Head of Finance, also is sitting with us. And inshallah, after the presentation or during the presentation, if there are any queries, we can also clear it for whatever is there. Thank you. Take you through the company overview. And as everyone is aware, Tajir Finance is there for the last more than 20 years now. The company inceptions started in 2000, and in 2005, the company being a listed company. And currently we are operating from 8 locations. We have 8 branches. The number of the staff as of December 22, it was 158 members, and the organization ratio is 89%. The key statistics for the company, it is that we have a strong database which is contained more than 75,000 individuals, clients, and 13,000 SME and corporate customers. The second thing is that the average ticket size also, it is between 5,000 and 38,000 for the SME. Over 10,000 new financing contracts being executed during the year 2022. Over Riyal Omani 22 million in corporate deposits and 28 million in bonds being received during the year 22. The recent achievements for the organization, it was the revenue, it's increased by 20%. The portfolio also increased by 17%. The profit increased by 33%. The provision for the year 22 also, it's been increased by 28%. 22, it was a very successful year for the organizations, for Tajir Finance. The company were able to, for the second years, to issue another bonds, and the achievement was 195%. So, and during the year 22, also the expanding of corporate deposit also achieved 100% increase in the deposit. And one element also which we start doing is from the year end of 21, and in 22 we applied that we start creations of sinking funds to cover repayments of the bonds in the futures. We'll take you through these slides through the Oman's macroeconomic views. As everyone is aware, the country was doing very good during the year 22, and there's a lot of improvements in many areas. One positive was the budget. It was surplus for the country by 1.1 billion. This was the first yearly physical surplus in, we can call it in a decade, amounting 6.5% of the GDP. The governments also were able to reduce the debts during 22 to bring it down to 17.7 billion. The other plus point also, it was the rating agencies, all of them rated Oman as a good, and the recent also rating which was done by S&P, it was also BB, which is giving us a bigger room in the international market also. I will take you through another also sheet where it shows the sectors. So the finance and leasing sectors, it shows also there's a lot of improvements happen after the increase in the oil prices, and the business in Oman have started recovering from the affected COVID, thereby providing a business growth prospect for FLCs. The asset quality also after the CBOs initiated deferments, the customer have started paying the the rentals again, and the portfolio quality has been improved. The capital for the sector also it's been improved from 295 million to 318 million. The funding and liquidity, there's a big room still because the whole borrowing is at the leverage currently it's at 2.2 times, where we can go more than 500 million if we go four times, and we can go up to another 800 million if we go 5 times leverage for the sectors. The investor attractiveness with the growth of fintech sector in the region, FLCs provides an excellent platform for investors to capitalize on the existing database and take advantage of growth opportunities. Regulations, when the authority extended their support during COVID, new regulations are in pipeline to support digitalizations. We'll take you through the business overview for the company. As a company, we are writing two types of business. It's a retail and SME products. We have them. The retail, basically, it is in the auto finance and the consumer loans, and the SMEs, we have mainly the SME, the lease facilities and the bill discountings and receivable financing, and we have the refinancing also. Refinancing is being provided to facilitate by unlocking the capital after assets purchase. Now, the next slide will take you through the financials for the company. The company did very well during the year 22, and if we can do a small comparison between the result of 21 and 22, we see a growth in the finance income by 19%. It's reached 21 million, and the interest expenses also it's grown by 13% due to the incrementals in the total funding which being raised during the 22. The net finance income also increased by 24%. The other income, it's been increased by 70% from 1.2 to 2.1 million. The operating expenses increased by 23%. Mainly the operating profit, it's increased by 36%. And if you go see the other element where the provisioning is there, the company start building up the provision year over year in the past 3 years. And currently the provisioning reached to a cumulative 39.8, an incremental in it by 39.8% during the last year from 2.8 million to close to 4 million. The profit before tax also it's increased by 32%. The taxations also went up from 459 to 596 by 29%. The net profit for the year went up to 32%. The balance sheet shows that the assets, the fixed assets, it's increased to 852,000 by 93%. The net investment and leases also went up by 17%. The cash in bank, I'll go back to it, in the last 2 years continually, the company is holding very strong cash balances also. It was 16 million in 21, now it's at 17.3 million. Other assets also went up by 5%. So the total asset for the company went up from 183 to 212 million by 16%, and incremental is there. Other liability went up by 39%. Bank borrowing, it's short down by less than 1%, but while the bonds and deposits went up by 115%. So the coverage happened from the treasury, which is now they are running the bonds and the deposits. I can say better way than it was previously. The paid up capital for the company slightly went up by 2%. The reserve also went up by 6%, and the return earning stood at 13.7%. Total liabilities and equity, it is at 212 million. The key ratios also, there's an improvement in the EPS also from 10 basis to 13.1. And the provisioning coverage ratio, which is one of the good things which we are building in the company. If we compare 21, which was 57.8% the coverage ratio, now it's reached 66 percent, where we are also increasing it, and the plan is that to increase it this year and to cross above 70%, inshallah. And the other is the cost to income, also went down from 45% to 42%, and operating profit went up from 5.8 million to 7.9, and the PAT also went up from 2.5 to 3.3 millions. This also the portfolio shows an improvement from 185 million in December 21 to 218 million in 22. Revenue per employee from 122 to 147, and the revenue growth also shows a big growth that in the revenue happened from 5.9% in December 21 to 23%, where also the market share went up to 20.8%. Now, this is the last where our focus area are now. Digitalization is one element where we're working hard in it. Mobile apps is there, and many things are coming in pipeline. Product innovations, we have that also, new products. Funding diversifications, also that is which started in the last 2 years, and we have seen that there's a drop in the borrowing and there's an incremental in the deposits and the bond side. We start also, we keep maintaining a strong relationship with the banks and other dealers and suppliers. The customer retention, this is one of our major focus area right now, and we are working on it. And there are a few things which will be coming during the year 2023, inshallah. That's it. Thank you very much. Please, if there is any questions or query, please you can start and we can answer your questions. Can we ask that way? Anybody is participating this one? Or Mr. Bishan Bala is there?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Bishan, please.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Morning to you. Fine.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. Just a couple of final queries. Firstly, congratulations on the performance. Good to see the company doing well. Just wanted to understand from you, how do you see cost of risk and overall competition in 2023? How do you see that shaping up?
Well, can you repeat the question, please? The cost of?
Yeah. Okay. I had a look at your financials, etc. They look quite good. If you could just give your thoughts on how you see cost of risk evolving in 2023 and overall competition in terms of customer acquisition or retention. How do you see these two factors?
See, the cost of risk, when we talk about the provision, if you mean, I think
yes.
The company, we are building up. If you look to the history of the company for the last 3 years, we keep increasing our provisioning. And if you look into the coverage ratio, it's went up, and the past 3-4 years, if I take it back, it's went up from 47 or 48%. Today we are at 66%, and I can tell you that very soon, inshallah, and this year also we are expecting to achieve more than 70%. And we have considered many elements also. We have taken into consideration those maybe let's say the reactions of the repayments of those clients went through the deferment for a longer period. But as I mentioned earlier, also in our book in Tajir, our book is very, I can say, small size, and we don't have big transactions, maybe 1 or 2, 3 clients already been taken care of them. We are not writing a huge, let's say, higher exposures. We are not taking into that. For the last 3-4 years, we didn't write any businesses in above 2 million riyals. Our transaction always is less than 1 million. So the average ticket size in the commercial side or the SME is less. So I don't see any things that will disturb the organization in this year related to the last 3 years business, even though that's carry forward business which we have it from the prior to the last 3 years. The behavior of that, I can assure that majority of them, they start the repayment. And those clients who are not in a good, I can say not a good shape, we have taken care of them by the provisioning being, the coverage ratio being improved to cover the organization on that. The second part of your question, if I understand it, that you are looking forward for the business and retention of the client. Again, on the leasing, we are 5 company and everybody have his own model of writing the business. In Tajir, again, we are more in the small SMEs mainly. We are focusing in that area. And majority of the book, more than 55%, it is in that area also. So here we have seen now the government, especially after they came and they announced last year's this is small also budget for each governors. This is improving the retail business for SME, we call it. So there is a big room for us as Tajir Finance. We are focusing on that area and we do write a business there. Maybe, which is a concern, that's the car business. The car business has been left nowadays for the banks. We are not too much in it, maybe because of the rates. Yes, I do agree. That is just the rates. I can say that will work for some time. And again, we have our own specialist team where again the room is there to keep writing business. We have, I can share the result of first quarter for the company. It was very good. We achieved the target and the plan for year 23, and very soon, inshallah, by next week, we are going to announce. And there is an improvement again in every area and every element. I cannot disclose the numbers today, but there is an improvement everywhere. So I'm sure we are on track, and we keep writing business also. And if you notice, when we say 10,000 contract, 10,000 contract, when you execute just only imagine 65 million real business on 10,000 contract, then from there you understand how we are diversifying again the risk for the company and the number or the volume of contract which we are writing. That's giving us maybe a breathe or a higher spread where we can maintain also to service the debts and to service our loans and to create more provisions for the organization, inshallah. Please, if anything's more, please.
Right. Yep, no, appreciate that. The next question is with regards to, like you rightly mentioned, you are shoring up or building up your provision coverage ratio slowly, and we've seen the improvement over the last couple of years, and this year also you look to build it up. Now, just for understanding as the analyst community, when it comes to dividend payment, is there does the CBO look at as the provision coverage ratio in terms of the payout that you can give to investors, or is that purely at the discretion of the board and the management?
No, definitely. There is an IFRS 9 also and the ECL model, how it's being calculated, and they are regulatorily for sure. CBO is there for whole, let's say, all circumstances which is happening. And, the last 2 years, especially how the economy went through the last 3 years. Guidance always from Central Bank of Oman are there, and they are helpful, and they do understand that. Tajir, I believe we did very good also. And if you compare us to the sector, to the market, our payout was close to, let's say, 7%, 5% cash, and 2% stock. And for the investor, I think it was a good investment opportunity. And going forward also, you see, this has also been improved in the last 3 years. So there's a lot of improvement happening in it. It was 5%, 3 to 2 cash, and today it's 5 to 2. Stock also 7%, and again, inshallah, I hope this year, inshallah, there's a plan to increase it again, and that for sure we are not holding the money of the shareholders in a way of reserve, but in a way to build up a good reserve for the organization, for the stability in the futures. Any circumstances happen, so the company will not have any shortfall.
All right, noted. Fine. That's it for me, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, if there is no more questions, from anyone, we are thankful to everyone there, and we are thankful for those colleagues who participated in this session, inshallah, and we'll see you, inshallah, in near futures with a better result. Thank you, and thanks again from Tajir.